Wow, Sabubu, what a weekend. I mean, what a weekend. If you are an Arsenal fan, I'm sure your shoulder will be like this by now because the humility that was given has now been returned to the owner. Welcome back to the show. It is still your number one champion podcast, the Fantastics Podcast Show. I'm here in the studio with the proudest man in the world right now, Sabubu El-Kun.
Hello world, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
It's London 2, Manchester 0. Arsenal went at them. I expected an Arsenal win, but not a scoreline that we saw. We saw what Crystal Palace did to the Red Devils at the Theatre of Tears. As we speak right now, we don't even know what's up with Manchester United.
Well, that's why they call it a theatre. You understand? Brighton went there last time. They operated, they dissected. Crystal Palace went there again and they made it their palace. Another, setback for Ruben Amorim's rebuild.
Then we saw the comeback kings, the guys from the Forest. With the anger, they went at Brighton and they turned off the light. Brighton saw darkness. It was Forest 7, Brighton 0. So
the Brighton fans ended up brightening the day of Nottingham Forest.
Sure.
But I mean, that was more than you would expect for a team like Brighton. I guess their high line was very much exploited and exposed by Forest.
And, Forest were just direct. Just went at them. They kept going at them. And Brighton didn't even have
any
an
response
answer to anything. Now, Liverpool, if they win the outstanding match, take it from me, they're likely going to be champions elect. Because
which one is taking from you? Are they not champions elect?
No, they are not. They are not yet.
You're looking at mathematically.
Let's leave mathematically out of it. 14 matches to go is a lot of matches.
It's a lot of matches.
Newcastle lost the Premiership 11-12 points ahead of Fergie Boys when Kevin Kinga had that meltdown. You saw what they did to... That match against Bournemouth was what we call an Italian job done at the South Coast.
Yeah.
They went there was a controversy about the penalty, I know it's a fantastic penalty.
Which was what was a fantastic was a fantastic penalty. Okay, the execution of the penalty was...
What I mean a fantastic penalty was, the initial foul, people were saying it was not the penalty, it was the penalty. Now any penalty out in the Premiership, there's always a controversy.
Contention.
Yeah, there's contention, there's controversy. And I always tell people that most times, maybe because of our emotions, and maybe because of the teams we support, we just feel decisions should not go against us. But we should try to understand that those players on the pitch make one or two split-second decisions.
Yeah.
Let me tackle, should I go for it? And the other players, I call footballers, they're artists. If a footballer knows this guy's going to tackle me, I'll put my leg there. I push the ball faster than him. And once you miss the ball and you take the leg, the
problem was not whether the leg was taken or not, or if you take the leg, should it be a penalty? It was alleged that was simulation, that there was no contact. And that's the question. We always come back to the show every other week and we talk about refereeing decisions and how the English officials are not doing enough. I mean, with VAR, you should even go through the motions. But that's for another day. Liverpool are juggernaut right now, and they are just rolling on, stream-rolling teams, blowing through defenses.
They're the luckiest team in Europe presently.
Luck can only take you that far. They are that good.
0 or no injuries. That's how lucky they are.
It's not about luck. You should ask what are they doing right at Liverpool that is making their players because I'll tell you something. Klopp's playing style was heavy metal according to him, high tempo, a lot of running, a lot of pressure. That also leaves your players prone to injuries. But
there's one thing about the training methods that gets players injured. And there's another way. A player can just run and his ACL will just tear. It happens a lot. A player goes into a tackle, a mistimed tackle, he gets injured.
And ACL could just tear as he run.
I'm telling you, that's what happened to Timber last season. He was just running and just started shouting.
Oh, Timber.
See, even the tackle on Rodri
Yeah, that sent him to
Normally
injury.
should not have
You would
torn his
wonder.
ACL. See Saka now, he just held his hamstring and he has been out for 3 months. Football is a very funny thing, and when you have the luck of not having injuries, you don't know the blessing you have.
There's something. That's what I'm saying. You know, it can't just be luck. There has to be a method to it. There has to be, you know, the fitness, the training methods, the way they train, the way they recover. You can't just go through a season and, you know, your players, we have to ask slots. Say, give us slots. Make we learn what it happen.
You know,
that's just all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean.
I understand what you're saying, but the truth of the matter is, you cannot time injuries. When they want to come, they will just come. That's how it is. Then let's get back to what happened in Italy. Italy was a mirage of draws. Napoli played 1-1 with AS Roma.
Atalanta.
The Italian Milan derby ended 1-1 with a late strike for Inter. Atalanta, everybody thought they would brush aside Torino, but we saw what happened.
Yeah. Talking about the Milan derby, were you surprised by the spirited effort of the red side of?
Yeah, well, I wasn't really surprised because, you know, in the past 2 seasons that it has now become one-sided with Inter taking the spoils. Yes, Milan won the reverse fixture as the away team this season. So. And Milan have been, you know, they have a new coach after that coach sacked himself. So you see that the new coach is trying to build on his style. Yeah. He wants the team to play this particular way. Remember, Milan has the players. They don't take it away from them.
They have a very fantastic
Inter Milan is a high-scoring team. So for them not to score as much as they used to score, then give the onus to AC Milan coach. He did a very fantastic job. For Atlanta, we don't know what is really wrong with them. Since the
Prince is out.
Yes, since he got injured, we noticed they've been stalling. You know what one man's presence can do for a team. We're already seeing it.
Yeah. No, of course, you can't discount it. There are players and there are players. There are players that step out of your team and you feel the impact. They are the likes of the Mohamed Salahs, they are Demola Lookmans, they are Alexi Wobis, the Bukayo Sakas, the Cole Palmers, and players like that. You thought I was... No, of course. Arsenal feel the impact of Saka's absence. The likes of Odegaard, those kind of players, Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United, you're going to feel their impact. So I think it's both a credit to him, but of course he would wish he were on the pitch to help his team climb up the table.
Did you see what Bayern Munich did?
Bayern Munich, we predicted that they were going to streamroll, host and kill, and then they nearly killed them. We saw a comeback, and if they added more time,
it would have been 4-4.
Or they might afford them down.
It's I don't know what Bayern is up to, but if they do not take care of that leaky defense, they're going to have issues.
Kim and Upamecano, I cannot explain what is going on. Those were guys that were solid individually. They transferred to Bayern on the back of solid individual seasons at Napoli and, of course, at Leipzig. Yeah, it was Leipzig. But I don't understand. Upamecano is no longer a new player to the Bayern team, and of course, Kim has had a season to settle in. But together, they have been disastrous. And that's why Bayern fans were so angry when Matthijs de Ligt was being shipped off to Manchester United. They say, these guys that you have here, they have not even shown the requisite level. I guess
de Ligt's transfer is all about balancing the books.
So they delete, just so that
there's anything about continental European teams doing business with English teams. They tend
just want to make it higher,
prices to them. And when they told United that this is the amount, and United agreed, they were wondering, if we get this kind of money for this player, you understand?
Anyways, they have a long way to go because Dortmund are on a resurgence. Their interim manager is doing a pretty good job. He's steadying the ship. Guirassy is scoring the goals, and things are looking up. And then, of course, anything can happen.
Leverkusen won again. Yeah. So they're pursuing
by giving room for teams to have confidence that you are not solid enough, you're going to be in trouble. And that's something I think they should take care of. Moving on to Spain.
Barcelona had a labored 1-0 victory.
Yeah. better to labor to a 1-0 victory than to be labored or to labor in vain in a 1-0 loss.
Then the cream de la cream of world football with all the stars were subdued to a 1-0 defeat. But another thing that the Spanish commentators and football pundits are saying was the guy that scored the goal, was he supposed to be on the pitch?
You go explain, Taya. Because no evidence.
There was a tackle he made, which was captured. That was supposed to be a straight red card tackle.
Like we always say, forget about the excuses.
Madrid didn't take their chances.
You can't come to a football game hoping to capitalize on a red card before you get your business done. No. Madrid should not be that kind of team. This is the like you said, the cream de la cream of world football. So they didn't take care of business, and it harmed them.
I always tell teams that if you create a lot of chances the way you create chances and you don't take them, even if you are given a red card, you can still manage the game if you are scoring. Even if you lose a player or you concede or an injury.
Yeah.
Because when you have the chance to bury a team in the first 30 minutes and your players are jumping around as if it's a Brazilian carnival they are doing, what do you expect?
The opponents will gain confidence.
Once an opponent starts to gain confidence on you, you're in big trouble. Let's go back to England.
Yeah. So, talking about England, I just wanted us to, for a moment, look at the two, like you said, the silence in Manchester yesterday was sponsored by London sides. So let's quickly, just go in and look at those games forensically and see what happened.
Let's start with United.
Yeah.
This is now, Amorim has been defeated at home again, and he holds the record as the highest defeat by United manager.
At home? At home and away?
At home. I guess he's the one holding it presently, and he has not done one season.
He's holding a lot of records for poor performance right now. But I think it just goes to show the magnitude of work that Manchester United has to do. It's a shame. Just like Chelsea, they have spent tons of money and they have very poor players. It's a collection of misfits and they don't really know. Sometimes they look like they don't know what to do. To the big games, they rise up and, they kind of put in some spirited performances. But like we said, it's not always about the big teams. You won't play the big teams every day. What happens when, the lowly sides come around? And that's where they seem to not have figured it out. Anthony has left on loan and he gave an assist on his debut for Betis. And, people were saying, what's happening? This guy was looking clueless in Manchester a few weeks ago and look at him here. And then, of course, you're looking at some players. Rashford
has gone to
ended up at Aston Villa now. And they say Tuchel even contacted him to tell him, okay, see what I expect of you. Do this and do this. You're back in the England squad. So, the manager has to look introspectively and say, what am I doing wrong? Because the way he's handling his players, the way he's handling the team might be, counterintuitive. He wants to motivate them. He wants to back against the wall kind of vibes. But, man, he has to...
Or do you think he has looked at this season and said, this season is gone. Let's just hold on to the end of the season. Then I can build for next season.
I don't think when he came in, he wrote off the season. But right now, there's nothing you can... Even if he does not write off the season, me, I've written off the season. They should just manage this. For my fans, it will be tears and sweat. I don't know of blood, but it will be tears and sweat for this season. But I mean, that's why we are fans. You have to hang in there. You have to hold on and see what comes out of it. And then on to the Emirates.
I can tell you what happened in that match. Very simple. Arsenal had the first balls. Arsenal led the balls more than City. Arsenal were quicker to the ball. Arsenal were hungrier to the ball, and City were very sluggish. I've not seen in a very long time when City surrenders possession
as easily as
to an opposing team.
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but talking about that surrendering of possession, you just have to give credit to Arteta and the execution of his pressing tactics. If you watch that match closely, you would notice Declan. What is this?
Ricey.
Wait.
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice. Oh my God, which language I don't speak to? You will notice Declan Rice was leading the press, and it was pretty impressive. You know, the players would spread out, Havertz, Odegaard, and Trossard, and then they'll wait for the trigger moment, and they'll just go in the pack. And you notice it created the first goal, then the Havertz opportunity, which he squandered, and you just notice that they were so intelligent about the game. They knew the weaknesses of Manchester City, and tactically it was interesting because that's a blueprint. This is a Guardiola disciple that has been schooled massively, both home and away.
Yeah, but you know, if you look at the first half, even when Arsenal were pressing, got to a point that Arsenal started drawing back and City were coming into the game.
No, I'll tell you again. That was another tactical decision. Why? Okay. Because they needed those defenders to be a little higher away from their goalkeeper, just so they could exploit the uncertainty between them because they were not so coherent.
Yes.
And man, I was just enjoying myself.
And you know when City equalized and
the immediate response.
For the first time, I saw that Arsenal didn't panic when City equalized. And immediately, Arsenal scored that second goal. City were disrupted. They just went at them almost immediately.
And the floodgates opened.
And I knew City were in trouble. But I feel sorry for him. Imagine...
Why will you feel sorry for Pep?
Imagine your guy is having issues. You are still putting more problem on his issues.
Problem, no, they finish. True say, this one it's not a quote, it's not motivation. Problem, no, they finish. Pep, more pepper is on the way. We will go for a short break, and when we come back, we are going to take a look at some of the deals that are going down. Today is transfer deadline. We'll look at some of the deals that have been done, some that might be done, and of course, we'll give you more of the games that are coming. Don't go anywhere.
The season has gotten to the business end, where we all know the teams that have made it to the round of 16, the 8 teams that have made the round of 16 in the Champions League. Yeah. The playoffs have been done, and we have a blockbuster match of Madrid versus Man City. The whole world is waiting for that match. So it's obvious that one of the former champions or the current champions will not make it to the round of 16. We have tough cup matches this week. That's Football Association matches in Europe, not League Cup. Yeah. That's outside that's England. The likes
of the FA Cup of the other cups of the other countries.
Yeah. And we start with Wednesday matches. In the Copa del Rey, we have Leganes versus Real Madrid. Renz.
Yeah.
Do you think Madrid will come back from that defeat over Espanyol over the weekend for this match?
It's not a question, but unfortunately, they will have to be very careful because they lost Rudiger to injury, and right now they are working with a makeshift defense.
They have to manage that.
Tchouaméni is not a central defender. He was already shaky beside Rudiger, who was a very strong defensive presence. And then of course Asensio, Asensio is also a young player. So Madrid will be struggling at the defensive end of the pitch. But if they use their firepower well, they might not need to have defense.
The League Cup semi-finals return leg. We have Newcastle versus Arsenal at St. James Park. Remember, there's no away goals rules.
Yeah.
So Arsenal just needs to score 2 goals to take the match to extra time. But I don't know how they will do it. Newcastle have lost 2 straight home matches. We don't know what's wrong with them.
And we don't know what's going on. So there might be a response at home that day.
What do you think?
I think it's going to be a pretty tough match.
Okay.
But I don't think Arsenal will go through. Personally, that's what I think. Okay. It might not happen, but I don't think Arsenal will be able to beat Newcastle enough to get a straight win. It might end up in penalties, but it's going to be a tough one. I don't see Arsenal making it.
Then we have a Coppa Italia quarterfinals, AC Milan versus AS Roma at the San Siro.
I think that's another sweet fixture, but I'll go with both sides to score.
Okay, then we have the DFB Cup, that's the German Cup. We have Bayern Leverkusen versus FC Cologne.
They will spray on her.
So what do you think?
Leverkusen with a straight win.
Then we have a key fixture another quarterfinal fixture in Holland. PSV and Eindhoven versus Feyenoord.
Feyenoord will be saying goodbye to Santiago Jimenez, one of their top strikers. So I don't know how they are going to stand PSV, but I would also go with another both teams to score.
I look at the PSV straight win.
The PSV straight win.
Then we'll go to Thursday fixtures. They rearranged Inter Milan match against Fiorentina, where that Fiorentina player had the cardiac arrest. The rescheduled match is on Thursday. And Inter win takes them to the summit of the
table.
You'd
expect them to get the result because Fiorentina have kind of spiraled off. They have plateaued and they are now nosediving.
I look at an Inter straight win.
Yeah, I think so too.
Then the other quarterfinal matches in the Copa del Rey, we have Real Sociedad versus Osasuna, then Valencia versus Barcelona.
Valencia versus Barcelona. Barcelona straight win.
Okay. What about Real Sociedad Osasuna?
Real Sociedad.
I go for a Real Sociedad straight win.
I'll go for a draw and then something. I know a draw and then maybe shootouts because it's going to be a very closely contested fixture.
The other League Cup semi-final, Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur. Liverpool they are one down from the first leg.
Well, I just want to warn Tottenham. Your coach survived the halftime sack that he predicted for them last week by beating Brentford 2-0.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you'll be able to survive this time around. I think Liverpool have some breathing room because of no fixtures in midweek and stuff. So they are going to apply maximum pressure for that fixture. And I think Tottenham will buckle. So it's a straight win for me, Liverpool.
And then we'll go to the weekend fixture. Start with Friday. We have Bayern Munich versus Werder Bremen. Then we have Como, Juventus, PSG, AS Monaco. Then Manchester United will play Leicester
in the FA Cup. United, that theatre that they are operating you people anyhow. I think they'll get the win.
Okay.
They'll get the win.
What about PSG and AS Monaco?
PSG Monaco.
They've turned to the draw specialists.
Of late. I'm going to back the man who is on form, who scored back-to-back hat-tricks, Ousmane Dembele, to fire them over the line.
What about Como Juventus?
Como Juventus, Juventus are going to get the 3 points.
What about Bayern Munich, Werder Bremen?
Both teams to score.
Okay, then we'll go to the Saturday fixtures. We have the Madrid derby at the San Diego Bernabeu. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid.
This is not going to be popular, but I think Madrid are going to lose that match.
Oh my God. Did you just say that?
Yes.
Well, maybe because of their midweek fixture, right?
Not just the midweek fixture. The defense is... And Simeone is such a strong tactician.
Okay.
He knows that league very well. He knows the team very well.
Okay.
And Madrid are at a point where if someone could exploit them, he would have seen what Barcelona have been doing in their meetings, and of course he will know that he has the team in a Griezmann, Alvarez, and the likes to exploit that weak back line.
And ironically, Atletico have been scoring goals this season.
Yeah, they have been. Although sometimes they are on, sometimes they are off.
Yeah.
But I mean, this Madrid are at a point where if you were an Atletico playing them, you'll be pretty excited about your chances of getting the 3 points. So I would back Atletico.
Then let's just talk about one or two fixtures. Borussia Dortmund versus VfB Stuttgart.
Dortmund are back online, so
Hellas
they should get that win.
Atlanta, Empoli, AC Milan, and that's all. Then we'll go to the FA Cup, where we have a lot of fixtures, but we're going to take selected fixtures.
Yeah, I think for Premier League teams, we just have Everton and Bournemouth, which will be another exciting one. David Moyes is back and he's steadying the ship. I
see an Everton win. Forget whatever Bournemouth is doing. I see an Everton win.
So then, that's possible.
Little Orange versus Man City. We all know what will happen in that match.
Man City will be coming back with a vengeance. So
then Wigan, Fulham. You can't trust all these Championship and League One teams.
No, but Fulham will get their results. I think another exciting fixture
is Brighton Chelsea.
Brighton versus Chelsea.
That match is going to be very, very, very tough. When I mean very tough, it will be very tough. Those two teams will go out at each other.
So who do you see getting?
I see a Chelsea
getting the progression. Yeah. So I would also back Chelsea on that because Brighton play an exciting high line. Yes. Chelsea like those kind of teams. It's the ones that don't like coming out that always take Chelsea out. So that's a pretty exciting one. So we're talking about the transfer window. Right now we are shooting is Monday, and by 11 p.m. the transfer window will be shut. Some deals will still get over the line that we might not be able to update you on, but we can confidently tell you that Manchester City have triggered the release clause of Nico Gonzalez from Porto, and right now he's a Manchester City player.
Can I shock you?
Among others.
Can I shock you? This January transfer window, Man City has spent over £200 million.
£200 million. That would be on Kusanov, Victoris, Omar Mamouche, and now subsequently Nico Gonzalez.
It is 220 something million as it stands. And they could still buy another player if you offset them.
No, actually, Arsenal, you people are the ones that caused this one. As you people overran them in midfield. Quick. They don't hurry, go Porto, say, please, give me that guy in a portmanteau. And they have taken their man. Hopefully, Guardiola can begin to gather his season together. There's still a shot at Champions League football for him. So the season is not totally lost. And then, of course, we said earlier in the show that Marcus Rashford is now an Aston Villa player. And Aston Villa are also pushing to get Axel Disasi from Chelsea, even though Tottenham have agreed a deal with Chelsea. So Tottenham have agreed with Chelsea for Disasi, but Aston Villa have agreed personal terms. So now Disasi is refusing to go to Tottenham, even though
agreed with Chelsea.
You understand? And Chelsea are refusing to do business with Aston Villa because Aston Villa is a direct rival for the Champions League.
And the funny thing is, apart from Man City that has been buying players, Villa has been very active.
Yeah.
Asensio joined them too.
Asensio joined them?
Yes.
Wow.
From PSG.
Wow. That's a pretty smart signing.
They allowed them Duran go to.
Yeah, Duran left.
How something.
I understand. I also learned that it's possible that Leon Bailey might join Manchester United or Tottenham. Is still in the works. So that's also something that might happen. We might just
Do you think Wilkins will join us now this night?
I don't think Watkins. It's too late for them to get a replacement, and they just sold Duran. If Duran were still around, it would have been possible.
Maybe people were saying maybe that was why Rashford came in and all, because from reliable source the initial bid Aston made was 40 million, but from what Fabrizio and all are saying, they said a 60 million can get him out. That the player is willing to go to Arsenal, but he doesn't want to push.
He's positively disposed to go to Arsenal, but he doesn't want to offend.
He doesn't want to annoy
the club.
Villa and all.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky deal.
At 29, it's a good deal for Aston Villa.
Yeah, it is.
Because he has 1.5 years.
No. Actually, he has a long contract. If it's a contract, he has a long one. So that's also there.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have the likes of João Felix, who might be headed to AC Milan. Chelsea have shown themselves to be the most confused operators in the transfer market. You got 44 million player in, and he's leaving already. Renato Vieira that just came in is already on loan. Chilwell is now at.
But you know, Chelsea has 2 dressing rooms in Stamford Bridge too. There are too plenty.
There are too plenty.
The players are plenty.
It's not about the plentiness. Were they not the ones signing the players? Okay, now for instance, look at Chalobah. He was frozen out, put in the bomb squad. They now have first squad, second squad, and bomb squad. I don't understand. Now police department there for Chelsea. So now they put him in the bomb squad, forced him out on loan to Crystal Palace, and then went to recall him. And now he's in their central defense. It's just plain silly. I mean, and Chelsea, according to Maresca, he can't wait for the window to close so he can resume work. Nkunku was supposed to go to Bayern, that didn't work out, so it's looking like it's the summer.
He was supposed to go to Manchester United.
Yeah, that one is something to look out for. We might wake up tomorrow morning and they did the deal.
You will wake up tomorrow morning and you will see the amount of players that were bought and sold alone.
It will shock you.
It will shock you.
It will shock you indeed. Arsenal, we're also looking at getting in the striker, but like we said, Oli Watkins might not work out, so it's a tricky market for them. They might just stick with Havertz. He might miss one, he might score another one. Look at the beautiful goal he scored yesterday after missing an easier one.
Because the thing about Harvard I've come to understand is he misses the easy goals and scores the difficult goals.
Ones. I think maybe just on and off, Arteta can take some advice. You see the way Havertz did that run and how he came in. Saka is not around. Play him that place. Play Trossard through the middle and get Martinelli on his flank. And you just might find a formula that unlocks the Havertz we knew at Leverkusen. And that is that for now. We are all looking forward to our teams doing one or two business that might help us. But unfortunately, you cannot always get what you want in the winter transfer market.
Funny enough, this is undisclosed and is not yet authentic. A club bidded for Osimhen at £65 million.
Oh.
But they said Napoli turned it down. We don't know that club yet.
Oh, wow. Is it from England?
It's only English clubs that play pass.
Sorry. I missed that little detail. I also learned Boniface was the subject of a bid from Aston Villa. Also, they were trying to do a deal to see if they can let.
You'll be surprised Boniface will not be by Leverkusen player by tomorrow.
It's possible.
You know why?
Possible
because the club wanted him out because they needed the money. Now the good thing is a benchmark has been set that his transfer fee is 60 million, about 65.
Yeah.
So a club will likely pay that. I don't think he'll be
in Leverkusen by tomorrow. Well, whether he's at Leverkusen by tomorrow or not, be sure that we'll be here next week to give you the best of everything football. Unfortunately, we tried to get a Man City fan in the building today, but they were all too distraught to come in.
They have meetings around till night.
Till late.
So they're very busy presently.
Yes, they are very busy.
Until probably next week.
Now, so now they're busy. They explain waiting no loss. But it was an exciting weekend, and we pray for more of weekends like this. Chelsea fans, I don't know about you. You might not be excited by next weekend. Now, so they always be. But Arsenal fans will be crowding. Manchester United fans and Man City fans will be crowding in the corner, and they'll be wishing make things better next time. That's football for you. We love the game. We want to thank you for your continuous support on our podcast, your likes, your comments. Please continue to engage us, and hopefully one of your comments might get you into the studio with us. I remember reading a comment from one of our fans, Mr. John Clare. He gave us a very detailed analysis about the problems of Manchester United in our comment section. Mr. John Clare, don't worry. Please keep up the good work, and one day you might be with us in the studio to give us your expert opinion, because you looked very expert. Sabubu, what do we say to our fans as we are about to check out?
Subscribe, like, and follow us. Thank you for all you do. See you next week.